we're just serving God's people. However they come to us, however they look, however, whatever their situation, these are God's children, we're God's children, we're just serving together. And I believe that our niche is with the poor, but you'd be amazed at how many people of all walks that are served when they come here. And so I've stopped just saying that we just serve the poor, because I've worked with volunteers where we have people from churches and very wealthy situations come and are so ministered and so impacted when they come here that that's also part of our service. And so we just serve God's people. Of course, preach the gospel here. We are a Bible preaching, we are a Christian organization, but I think most importantly, it's how we treat people. And I really believe that when someone comes and they're really hurting and they're really down, that the way that they're loved and encouraged and treated, I believe that someone who coming out of the prison system, who's used to being treated like a criminal, is treated like someone who can make a difference in the world and who has a place and who has a future and hope. I believe that's what Jesus wants us to do, and that's how Jesus treats people. He doesn't label people. People are God's children, and so I believe that's how we spread the gospel. It's got the greatest impact. When people are impacted, when their spirit is impacted, when their life is transformed, they can't help but be disciples and go out and talk about the Lord and what the Lord has done for them. And I believe when people in that transformation, the way that they now look at the world and the way that they look at people has changed. And so they're just natural disciples, it just happens. While of course we have those specific and very coordinated opportunities that the church sees. We have the Sunday school, we have the Bible studies, we do all that. But I really believe it's in the Holy Spirit transforming people's lives that disciples are really created. We serve different populations in different programs. We have what's called emergency shelter opportunities, and that's for people where it's just all they need is shelter and food and just to regroup. And so we have those programs. But then we also have what's called transitional housing or interim housing. And these are programs that provide a residential environment where you have your own room, you have a private setting, you don't have to go out, you're here 24/7. It's more like an apartment, but it's an interim toward permanent housing, toward a lease that has your name on it, toward a mortgage that has your name on it. It's interim. And so those are long term. Those are up to a year, those programs. And we found that for some individuals, not everyone, some individuals, that good amount of time really aids in really getting a step up and really becoming self-reliant and self-sustaining. And that's our goal. Our goal is not to have people continue to be dependent. Our goal is independence. There's a lot of ways to get involved and support Olive Branch Mission. One way is volunteering, and that's just simply coming down and being willing and giving of yourself to do whatever needs to be done around our facilities. It can be serving meals, it can be cleaning up, it can be doing a construction project, it can be painting, maintenance, gardening, things like that, that just help us keep this ministry going. It can be tutoring, long-term, where you're meeting, running a GED class, doing Bible studies, just working with mentorship programs with either children or with adults. But then there's also just ways where we just, to offset our costs, the way that we offset costs is to get donations. And a lot of donations that we really need because of the hundreds of people that we serve every day is toiletries, items that help personal hygiene. One of the biggest thing that we provide here that we talk about is restoring personal dignity. One of the best ways to do that is let people have just those basic products that help them just feel like a real person and feel like they can, oh, now I can go out into the world. And that's clothing, hygiene products, interview clothing. If there's things in your closet that are sitting there and that would be excellent for interviews. We need it. We really need it, and we want to provide those things to people. When I think of an opportunity where I'm able to talk about Olive Branch Mission and what Olive Branch Mission does, is that just to encourage anyone who sees this wherever they are, to just be quiet and listen to God's voice and listen to what He wants you to do. We live in a very busy, loud, noisy world that gets us caught up in a lot of things that distracts us from priorities. And I would just say, everyone, just be still and listen to what God would have you to do every day and how He would have you serve people. I'm not called to Olive Branch Mission. I'm called to love God and serve His people. And so are you if you have that faith.
If you know of a ministry that we need to know about, please give us a call, 888-641-8606, or take a look at our website, revelationstv.org.